It's a snowy Saturday evening here in East Lansing as the Ohio State Buckeyes visit the Michigan State Spartans in the 14th annual Pink Meet. Good evening, everybody. Hikari Kudo alongside Roya Shirley here at Jennison Fieldhouse. We thank you for tuning into this one on BTM+. Roya, we're looking at two teams, Ohio State with a younger team as class of 2019 had a handful of seniors who graduate. For Michigan State, on a pretty solid start for them thus far from the tri-meet finish. Not the best finish they wanted, but still a solid finish from Mike Rowe's words. We'll start with Ohio State, the visiting team. Olivia Apley, definitely someone to keep an eye on tonight.
Absolutely. Olivia Apley is a unique gymnast to watch tonight. She's coming off of a career high of 3 events last weekend against NC State, so she should be pretty interesting to see tonight.
Meanwhile, for Michigan State, the junior co-captain Leah Mitchell, the Florida native, has been doing her thing. An all-around score of 39.375 last week in the tri-meet is definitely showing what she's got.
Absolutely. Leah is a very consistent gymnast. I'm excited to see what she brings to the table. Her and Olivia should have a pretty good matchup tonight.
Michigan State, Ohio State, first rotations moments away here at Jennison. But first, we're going to send it to the third member of our team, Alexis Ayala.
Thanks, guys. There's absolutely something special in the air tonight for Michigan State's 14th annual Jan Howard Breast Cancer Awareness Meet. First, we have Ohio State, who was voted 4th in the 2020 Big Ten Coaches Preseason Poll. And they're sitting behind a very high-level, #1 ranked University of Michigan, followed by Minnesota and Nebraska. But let's not forget they are still a pretty young team, and the Spartans are led by 2 co-captains for the 2nd year in a row. That's Leah Mitchell and Gabriella Douglas. They were both voted to the All Big Ten second team honors last season. So there's a lot to look out for tonight. Guys, I'm Alexis Ayala. Back to you.
Thank you, Lexi. Once again, big warm welcome here to Jennison Fieldhouse. There's a quick look at Ohio State's head coach, Meredith Policivic. Third season over there at the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Meredith has been pretty dominant for the Buckeyes over the past 3 seasons she's been there. I'm excited to see what her team brings to the table tonight.
And of course, the buzzer sound and we're ready to go. And there's a quick look at Mike Rowe in his infamous suit. Third season over there at Michigan State as well.
Mike has been an extremely important key for Michigan State this season with his specialty on bars. I'm looking forward to see the Spartans bring it tonight as well.
So there's a look at Michigan State. Of course, it's a pink meet here at Jennison, the annual pink meet. It's actually a very special story behind it. It's dedicated in memory of Jan Howard, the mother of alumni gymnast and current director of student athletic development at Michigan State. Angela Monty, or Angela Howard at the time, that she competed here at Michigan State back in 1990 to 1995. There's a look at Chloe Belmore. She'll get started as we look at the rest of the competition order for Michigan State for vaults.
Chloe is a freshman from DeWitt, Michigan. She competes a Yurchenko layout full, starts at a 9.95 start value.
Here goes Chloe Belmore. Belmore sticks it. She'll stick it on the mat.
She had a slight leg separation onto the table, but recovered very well. Great job from Chloe.
And that's a good solid start that you want if you're Michigan State. Another quick look at that one.
Right here is, oh, they cut it off, but her leg separated just a slight, but an awesome vault from Chloe.
Danica Abunto is up now for Ohio State as she's starting her bars routine.
Starts with a major release from the high bar, a straddle Jaeger. Going down to the low with the bail, a little short on that handstand. Hits that last handstand and sets up for her dismount. Blind full double tuck, almost got that stick.
And it's a beautiful dismount from Abunto to get things off for the team in red. So
I like the energy from both teams tonight. I'm excited to see the outcome.
You know, it might be drapey out there, you know, a little, not the best weather if you argue, you know, if I say so myself, but they're here to play. Gabrielle Douglas, the lone senior at Michigan State, up next for vaults.
She's higher in the lineup this meet than last meet, but she still executes a great Yurchenko half.
And were you surprised by that at all?
A little bit. She's usually further back in the lineup. So let's see. Her hand slips on the table. I don't know if you guys caught that, but her right hand slipped just a slight as she was blocking. So she couldn't really get her full block, but she recovered very well.
The native from Toronto, Canada, and I remember you telling me last week that she has a little bit of a unique Canadian style.
Absolutely, meaning that she does skills in gymnastics that Canadians are known for.
Yeah, and you can see that right there, that she slipped her hand a little bit on the right-hand side.
Bit. So you'll see a little bit more of what I mean by Canadian gymnastics when she gets to balance beam.
There's a nice look at the Spartans. That's we're going to head over now to the bars with Sarah Rowland.
This is Ohio State's second athlete up tonight on the bars.
Rowland, 4'11", native of Charles, Illinois. And
she's mounting from the low bar facing outwards, so I can only assume she's going to do a Maloney right there to an overshoot, a little short of the handstand. Gets that last handstand to a toe blind double tuck with a great finish.
And she sticks it on the mat.
Her team is very excited about that.
Oh, I would be if they were the Buckeyes as well. A beautiful bars routine once again by Rowland.
Head over to the vault with Ashley Hoflick.
Hoflick, a native of Novi, Michigan.
She is a sophomore this year, and she is competing very well from the first two competitions that I've seen from Miss Hoflick.
Hoflick with her approach.
Awesome vault from Ashley Hoflick, and she and her team are very excited about that.
You know what I've noticed about Ashley from that vault specifically, and even during her warm-ups as well, she's a little bit closer, and she's not reaching out a little bit. You're going to be able to see here in the replay a little bit. Is there any reason for that? Is that just her style, or?
So, for your Chanko entry, you're going to have to move your hands a little bit further from the sting mat so that you can get a great reach to the back of the table for that back handspring entry.
Hoflick will be trying to beat a 9.8 score that she had last week in the tri-meet, tied fourth with Leah Mitchell last week. There's Morgan Lowe now of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
This is actually Nevin Adamski. This is her senior season with the Buckeyes. I actually know Nevin very well, and I'm excited to see what she brings tonight, coming off of an injury last season. Nevin injured her knee last season, putting her out for the season. So this is her comeback meet right here as she gets ready for bars.
So there goes Adamski with her.
Tkachev for her major release. Huge height on that. Great handstand following. Overshoot to handstand. Back up to the high bar. This is a great routine so far from Adamski.
A little shy on that handstand right there a moment ago.
Setting up for her double layout dismount to a stick.
And she sticks
to a stick. That's an awesome routine from Adamski, especially coming off of that injury.
Very solid in the bars so far for the Buckeyes.
It's looking like it's going to be a good competition. Leah Mitchell on the vault.
Native of Florida. And she'll stick that one up.
Almost a stick. I don't know if they're going to count it.
I don't know. We'll see. Her feet was a little bit wide on that one, though.
She took a small hop. Let's see it in the replay.
Let's see if we get another look at Mitchell's vault.
I love the pink Leos from Michigan State. These are a new Leo for them. Oh, we're not going to get a replay. But awesome vault from Leah Mitchell.
Meanwhile, we're going to move on to Olivia Apley, our key player for Ohio State. She got a 9.850 against NC State last weekend in the Ohio State victory. So 9.85 is the score to beat for Olivia.
Olivia has a very intricate routine here, so I'm excited to see what's to come of this. I think she does a Maloney entry to the high bar.
Olivia Apley is Ohio State's all-rounder here today. Leah Mitchell is Michigan State's, who just vaulted a moment ago.
Maloney up to the high bar, probably bail handstand back down. Great form on this routine so far. Back up to the high bar with a short handstand, but sets it up great for this dismount.
Landing a little wide on that feet.
Ohio State is full of energy tonight.
And I feel like Buckeyes, it's gonna really determine the bar's routine and how they set it up for Michigan State. There's gonna be a quick another look at Apley's dismount here.
This is a tuck full out. She sees that landing, can't quite get the stick, but it's an awesome landing from Apley.
Here's the true freshman, Nia Smith. Michigan State getting ready for her vault.
She competes a Yurchenko full, very common in NCAA gymnastics. Arms a little bit on the table, but reacts great off of it and gets a great landing. Nice vault from the freshman.
So she got a personal best last weekend in 3 or 4 events in Try Me, as we'll look at her vault once again. You're right, you can see her arms a little bit right there and the hop at the land as well. Her vault last weekend was a 9.825, tied for second. Last weekend, we'll see if she beats her score. Now we'll move back over to the Buckeyes, Colby Miller.
She gets ready for her bar set.
Native of Mason, Ohio.
Another Maloney up to the high bar, barely catches that. Great job for her. Goes back up to the high bar, gets set for her dismount.
And she sticks it.
Stick. That was an awesome routine from Ohio State. Great form. I saw a little deduction there, but let's see what the judges saw.
It's going to be a pretty high score. Therefore,
I'd say above average for sure.
Oh, yes. There's another look at the dismount, and just look at that speed. Now the Spartans will go here with Alyssa Wiedemann.
Competes a Yurchenko layout is great form off of the table. A slight unbalanced on the landings. Had a couple hops, but a great vault from Alyssa Wiedemann.
There's another look at that approach a moment ago.
A Yurchenko layout starts a little bit lower than a full.
And she cut in herself a little bit when she landed, if you look at that replay.
A little bit, she piked down on the landing, you are right.
Up next for the Buckeyes, Jenna Schwarzentrober. She got a 9.8 against NC State last weekend. Last year against Michigan State, she actually set her career high of a 9.9, so she's used to the pressure here, and the bars here at Jenison. We'll see if she can beat that score tonight.
A beautiful Maloney up to the high bar. Pack salto back down. This is a great form set from her.
Handstand a little shy.
Oh, a Maloney half. Very unique. Not seen very much in college gymnastics. A little early on that dismount, but a great routine from her. Very high difficulty.
She broke her form a little bit going into the dismount, but I think that was a very strong performance there.
Absolutely.
It's almost she's like whipping her feet with her. It's like delayed. It's kind of funky if I say so.
She had a couple body shapes in that dismount. There's Elena Raymond, sophomore for Michigan State.
So we have one more. We have an exhibition for Ohio State. Alexis Edwards. So first rotations will be done in a moment here after the exhibition. And could you once again, for our viewers, Roy, explain what exhibition is and what the purpose of an exhibition is?
So an exhibition spot is the 7th slot in the lineup. 6 scores count, 1 is dropped. An exhibition is really just to let the team and your coaches know that I can do this. I'm here for a purpose, and I'm going to prove that right now. Even though their score doesn't count, it means just as much to them and the team that they hit this routine.
So Alexis Edwards, the 5'5" freshman from Richmond, Virginia. I believe you're from Virginia as well, right?
I am. Richmond is not that far from me. As she mounts the bar, let's see. Shaposh up to the high bar, pack salto down to the low bar. Very clean routine so far. Gets that last handstand.
Just separate her feet a little bit and lost her momentum there.
Her hands were on the other side of the bar. Unfortunately, gravity works in mysterious ways. She's going to go on the same side as her hands, but let's see how she recovers from this fall.
But before that, it was a very strong routine.
Very clean, not many deductions. However, she's going to take a hit for that fall. But in gymnastics, as I said last week, short-term memory is going to be your best friend. So let's see how she recovers from that fall.
And how do you practice mentality in a situation like this? Do you just have to be in it, or is there ways you cope with it, Roya?
There are. She's finished pretty strong on that dismount. Not very happy with that routine, you can tell. As far as mentals, that is something that you'll have to practice day in and day out as many times as you practice your routine, because unfortunately, emotions are things that we cannot control. So it is very important to get all of those under control so that you can have the best set that you are expecting to have during that competition time.
That is the end of her first rotation, but I want to take a quick look at Leah Mitchell's vaults, and reasoning why this is very important is because she is the all-rounder for Michigan State. Another look at this.
Great height, almost gets that stick. You can see her feet
the
move
right
just a
foot
little
just
bit.
kind of rolled a little bit.
Just a little, but she is on her way to a stick very soon.
So that's Leah Mitchell, the all-rounder for Michigan State. That met a few moments ago. Rotation number 1 is done here at Jenison. Here's our final score for the uneven bars for the Buckeyes of 49.275. Anything that stands out for you here, Roya?
Definitely. You've got a 9.875 from Appley. She's continuing to grow with her gymnastics competition skills. They are dropping a 9.75. And here are Michigan State scores. They are dropping a 9.35 from Wiedemann. That was that Yurchenko layout that you guys saw a moment ago.
So Mitchell and Smith both at 9.775 there as well. That's done first rotations, but coming up we got more gymnastics your way. These sides will flip. Do not go anywhere. You are watching Big Ten Gymnastics here.
Meet. Ohio Welcome back to the 14th annual Jan Howard Breast Cancer Awareness Meet. Ohio State head coach Meredith Paulus-Civic is only in her third year as a Buckeye, but she said, I think this is going to be a great learning experience for a young team. She said it's about learning how to adjust to different equipment and being aggressive on the road. She also said they have quite a few freshman routines, so it's just about nurturing them and keeping the stress levels down. Roya, tell me about, after 4 years of the grind as a Spartan gymnast, what it was like both mentally and physically for you coming into the Big Ten.
Well, Lexi, the Big Ten actually prepares you quite well to become a successful collegiate athlete. However, the stress levels are very high. You're coming from something that you've never known into a huge dynamic. You're coming with a huge team. There's a lot of things that come into being a collegiate athlete. So I'd say the stress levels are pretty high.
So not only are you dealing with the pressure of performing, but everything else that comes with it.
Exactly. You've got school. You have to train your body to be able to function as well as it can. Knowing that you're going through changes, becoming and developing to be the woman that you are, it's a lot on your body. However, these coaches do a great job of reeling it in for their athletes.
So after the breakdown of that first rotation, Ohio State currently leads the meet 49.275 to Michigan State's 48.475. That is a 0.8 score difference. As we look at Ohio State's lineup on the vault, once again, Roy, anything that stands out to you here in the lineup?
Definitely, I am very excited to see Miss Olivia Appley compete her vault that she previously won last weekend against NC State.
That vault score was a 9.85, by the way, for Appley last weekend.
As we get set to see their first competitor.
So up first for Ohio State is Danica Abanto.
Danica has some pretty explosive gymnastics. Let's see in her Yurchenko half, almost to a stick, a little short of rotation on that. Stalled a little bit too long, but brought it around.
Once again, not enough momentum. It reminded me a lot of like Hofelik's vaults earlier. So we'll head over to Michigan State's side. Sydney Ewing.
Sydney is a sophomore. Here she goes on bars from Texas. Woga was her home gym. Also the home gym of Olympic champion Nastia Liukin. She gets set for her major release.
As we look at the rest of the rundown here.
Causing her handstand to be a little short. Recovers well.
As we look at the rest of this down, of course, Elena Raybon is going to be big. So stand out a couple rotations.
But Sydney was not expecting that short line over the bar. Comes down, but she has to recover well, so let's see how she does.
Sydney Ewing, I believe she was an exhibition last week.
She was.
If I recall myself, and I believe she had like a 9.7 or 9.8. Don't know the exact score, but was in a pretty good range.
Definitely,
here, so.
But as I said before, short-term memory is definitely where she has to key in right now to finish this routine strong. All she has left is her dismount. Blindfold right to the handstand, beautiful.
Great balance on the bars.
A little closed in her shoulders on the dismount, a little close to the high bar, but Michigan State has to drop that score, and the next competitor will have to step up for their team. Ohio State on the vault.
So this is Sarah Rowland.
She also had to step up after her teammate's vault, and that was a very good vault. Yurchenko layout full from her.
So what's the key when it comes to the vault?
Vault, the main thing that you want to focus on is a great entry, so the round off. Your shoulders have to be at a slight open onto the table here. That's the round off. Shoulders there, and a great block to get the best vault possible. And also, of course, you want to look for a stick.
So now we'll move on to Michigan State. Tristan Brown approaching for her bars routine.
So Tristan has a little bit of pressure on her shoulders right now, seeing that her teammate Sydney Ewing fell. However, this is the short-term memory. She's got to key in, focus on what she needs to do, and deliver this routine.
Brown, a native of DeWitt, Michigan, 5'1" junior. So actually, the bars is one of the two events that Michigan State lost in the tri-meet last weekend. So definitely something to pick themselves up. But I remember talking last weekend that their bars routine, Michigan State's bars routine that is much better than what they did at the Western for their season opener.
Absolutely. Western, they had a couple falls, and last weekend they recovered well with not as many falls, but they're going in the right direction, and that's what they need to keep in mind.
So here's Tristan Brown with her bars routine today. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful these leotards look, though?
I love them. I am in love with them. They are great. And Ohio State's Leos are looking pretty
They're dazzling
out as well.
You know, it reminds me of when I used to dance, when I had to put my rhinestones one by one. You know, you told me last week that you didn't have to do that.
We did
Kind of
not.
jealous. I'm kind of jealous.
She has a great bar set so far. Last handstand into her dismount, blind full. Almost got that stick. A great routine from Tristan Brown.
And that's an energy booster for Michigan State as they prepare for Elena Raybon. But first we'll move back to the Buckeyes. Morgan Lowe is up here for Ohio State. Take another look at Brown's dismount real quickly.
That right foot moves
just gonna hold that.
Slight, just a slight.
Here's Rowe with her approach to the vault. Sticks it, but her feet are a little wide.
I'm not sure if they're gonna count that as a stick. Let's see, it's pretty close. Great vault though for Ohio State. A beautiful Yurchenko full.
So take another look at the vault from Lowe. Yeah, she was wide for feet when she approached, put it
But a
together.
great block off the table. I don't know if they're gonna count that as a stick, but she hit it pretty well.
That was close, and now we take a look at Elena Raybon. She went viral this past week, 3.9 million views of her bars routine. Does that put pressure, or is she more excited?
I mean, it's all perspective. Perspective. If she feels like it's going to be a little bit of pressure, hopefully she doesn't, because this is what she is meant to do. She did that routine last week to prove that she can be in this spot. Here she goes.
And a routine like that could help Michigan State out plentiful.
She starts off with her major release. A pike Jaeger over to the low bar. Hand slips a little, but doesn't let it get behind her.
And she recovered well from that.
Great handstands on this routine. This is a new routine for Raybon also.
And she
Finished
sticks it!
with a stick, and the crowd loves it.
Elena Raybon, ladies and gentlemen, second week in a row that she is pumping
this
this
one
Jenison
will go
up.
viral?
Oh, who knows? Who knows? So maybe someone will make a compilation of all
of
her
her
routines.
this season.
Yes.
Over to the vault for Ohio State. Great
A little
distance on that
light
vault.
tap, as we'll show you a replay of that moment. That's Rihanna Malice who went here, and as you see on your screen right now. So Malice did have a great distance, unlike some of the gymnasts that we have seen today.
Has a great block off the table. Great block, has great height. Pikes down a little bit, that's why she hopped after. But a great vault for Ohio State. Setting up for Michigan State, Jory Jackard, freshman for Michigan State this year with excellent lines. I'm excited to see her routine.
So Mike Groh is not scared to throw these two freshmen out.
Absolutely not. The freshmen, this is why they are here. They are here to compete, and we're excited to see it. As I mentioned before, Jackard has great lines. You can see in her handstands, everything is in one line. Let's just take a look here.
So here's Jacker getting started on her routine.
There's that handstand. This is a new release for her, a straddle Jaeger. She missed that last week, so it's great to see that she caught that. Failed to handstand up to the high bar. Great routine so far for the freshman. Excellent handstands. As I said before, these lines are perfect.
And
she gets the stick. Great routine for Michigan State.
And that is how you recover from dropping off for Jory Jacker last weekend. Take another look at that. You know, I always love it when when they have the smile and they have the confidence ready to go. But look, this is beautiful.
And all that is numbers in the gym. Practice, practice, practice.
Ohio State with the ball. Yes, and Olivia sticks it well.
A small hop up. I don't know if they're going to count that as a stick.
It's tough. It's tough. I want to see how close it was with the replay, though. It seemed close.
It's pretty close. It's very close. You can see it here.
Just remember, Olivia Apley had a 9.85 last weekend against NC State.
And you can tell she was really looking for that stick. She has a slight hop. Let's see if the judges catch it.
Moving on to Michigan State. Madison McHale.
A junior for Michigan State this year. Maddie has not had the ideal college athlete experience. However, she is excited and ready to compete today.
Native of Naperville, Illinois.
Battling a couple injuries in the past, she mounts the bar with her major bar release, a straddle Jaeger to a catch. Short on that handstand, brings it back with the bail up to the high bar, setting for her dismount. Also a new skill for her, double layout.
Here's her dismount. Little hop there,
but a great bar set for Michigan State. They're recovering very well from the past 2 weekends.
Yeah, they're looking much better than what they have shown so far this season as we take another look.
Absolutely, and you can tell
Maddie's
the
routine.
team is very excited about that as well.
Yeah, a little hop, but Mike Rowe's going to take it. Look at his reaction. Oh, you got to love that reaction.
You have to love them. That's what I look for after the routine.
Sydney
Jennings.
Jennings.
And Mike's reaction.
Sydney Jennings with the vaults. A little wide on the landing there.
Very close to a stick. She comes up a little bit short. Not sure if the judges are going to take it, but Ohio State is really fighting for these landings tonight.
Another look at that vault a moment ago from Jennings.
Oh,
that was close.
That
oh, she just popped that. She just popped her left foot up, just slightly, her ankle, that is.
These landings are very important. A 10 can absolutely make the difference between who wins and who doesn't.
Here's Leah Mitchell getting ready for her bars routine, the all-rounder for Michigan State. Tell me a little bit about Leah.
Leah is the most consistent gymnast that I've seen from Michigan State. She has great lines, and you know what you're going to get. I've said it before, Leah is consistent. That is why she is an all-around every weekend for Michigan State.
Leah Mitchell's parents are here today, I believe.
Absolutely. You've got her mom, Maureen, and dad sitting over there with her flag as she gets ready for the bars.
So here's Leah Mitchell's routine.
She does a major bar release here. It's called a Hindorf right here. Great form on that.
She makes it look so elegant, folks.
Oh man, these lines. Back up to the high bar for her dismount. A little short on that handstand.
Just a hair, I would say, yes. Sticks the landing.
It's a great landing. Michigan State has recovered so well on this event, and you can tell their team is excited about it.
Now we're going to head over to the exhibitions. Each team will have one. This
see this dismount
rotation,
again.
but
she really fights for this landing
did.
with her toes.
Oh my gosh, you could just say she's trying to stick her toes down to the ground as much as possible. Here's Claire Gagnali's approach.
All right, interesting vault. She did a Yurchenko half on, half off. She was a little close to the board, or a little close into the table off of the board, so she couldn't really get her proper block off of the table. So it messed up her after vault a little bit, but very cool to see the switch up for Ohio State.
Finally for Michigan State, Nia Smith will be the exhibition. The true freshman, which is interesting to me, because she was all around last week, so.
She was. So exhibition is also, can be used to take a step back from the competition scene to get yourself reset for next week. So she may have messed up last week on bars, or may not have been as consistent in practice this week, but this is the test for her to see where she'll stand next week in competition.
So last week's try meet, Nia Smith of West Bloomfield, Michigan at a 9.775 on the bars, high 6, and was her personal best actually. So this will just be an exhibition. She catches her first.
A little short on these handstands and overdoes the overshoot just a slight. Her toes came a little bit too high for her to be able to control it when she caught. However, she will recover well.
So she gets herself ready again, powders her hands back up, recovers. Anything that stood out from both of these teams here in the first 2 rotations?
Honestly, the thing that I see the most is the energy. I'm seeing both teams full of energy. It leads to an exciting set and an exciting rotation.
So Naya Smith is getting ready to finish her routine.
This is what this exhibition spot is for, to get anything out that you don't necessarily want in the competition set. So next week she'll have this nerves out of her system, has another number under her belt, so that the week following she'll have a great set.
So she went back to
Struggling
the
a
press
little bit
bar.
on that low to high, but recovers well with this dismount from Naya Smith.
And that stick, I think that's important, just to gain her back a little bit more confidence as she goes into this next week of practice. So
Absolutely.
that officially concludes the first 2 rotations. As we wait for scores here. And here's Michigan State's uneven bars final of a 49.025. Sydney Ewing's 9.0 is, of course, taken out. Christian Brown and Ray Baum both for 9.75. George Jacker for 9.85. McHale for 9.8. And Leah Mitchell with the team high of a 9.875.
That's an excellent job from Mitchell. However, Sydney Ewing has a fall, but still ranges to get a 9.0.
Ohio State's vault scored 48.975. Dana Abantos, 9.475, will be taking off the final scores. And, of course, Olivia is on top once again with a 9.875, just continuing
her
to dominate.
career high. This is an exciting meet, full of energy. I'm excited to see this next rotation.
And it's also a special year for Ohio State Gymnastics, 50 years. Program founded back in 1970.
Wow. I'm sure the gymnastics was a little bit different back then.
It must have been. It must have been, but, you know, the fact that they are
50 years down the line,
that's
saying something.
it is. So Apley had a 9.85 last week as well.
So did she beat her career high?
I don't think so. As we take a look at series history here, Michigan State leads all-time 30-22-1, 54th meeting between the two sides. The last meeting between these two was last year, January 27th. Ohio State with the victory of 196.2 over 195.225. Is that a close score? Far score? Explain this for the viewers.
So it would be close if it was 196.2 to a 196.25. That would be close. There was a little gap there, which means Michigan State probably had a couple falls. However, great scores. You want to be in that 195, 196 range for the team score.
There's another look at Leah Mitchell, the all-rounder. Career best of all-around of a 39.375 that she set last weekend with a beam of a 9.875. A lot of career highs. I want to say there were 12 career bests that was set last weekend in the tri-meet.
The exciting thing to see about Leah is that she is a competitor. In every meet, she's not only competing with the other team, but she's competing against herself to see how well she can do, better than the last week.
So with that, we'll head into the third rotation with the first touch warm-up just called. Michigan State will be on the beam, and Ohio State will be heading into the floor. Spartans are warming up in the second half. What's important for both of these sides?
It's important for them to realize that the meet can go either way. This is an event. Both of these events are kind of outlets to see where the teams are. This tests confidence, this tests numbers, this also tests mental strength from both teams.
Here's our competition order for the balance beam for Michigan State. Alyssa Weedman will get things started off, followed by Chloe Belmore, Elena Raybon, Nia Smith, Leah Mitchell, and Gabrielle Douglas, the senior, will round things off for the Spartans. So what's so hard about the beam?
Well, starting, it's 4 inches.
Well, okay, well, besides
there.
the obvious that you got to balance yourself on the beam.
The hardest thing about beam, I'd say, is it's mostly mental. Aside from all the other events, vault, floor, and bars, these events go pretty quickly. You don't really have time to sit and think about what's going to happen next. Beam, you've got a little bit more lag time to think about the skills. And that could either be a good or bad thing, depends on the athlete.
Of course, as the Spartans get ready for the beam, The Buckeyes will be getting ready for their floor. So now we have the songs running so the ladies can warm up. There's Leah Mitchell.
So I was looking at Ohio State's floor during warm-up, and they've got some pretty dynamic routines. I'm excited to see their choreography. I love the music that I heard earlier.
It's very upbeat, energy-filled. That's what we should be expecting from
Absolutely.
the Buckeyes. Of course, Olivia Apley is very strong suit on the floor.
Her routine is very exciting to watch. She is an entertainer on
Here's
this
the
event.
Buckeyes competition order for tonight for the floor exercise. Brooke Chesney will kick things off, followed by Ella Hodges, Danica Bunto, Alexis Hankins, Olivia Pelly, and Claire Gagliardi will finish things off for the team in red and black.
Not to mention the rhinestones on their Leos. I can see them from up here.
Their dads, they have to be brand new, right? Or someone.
I'm not sure if they wore these to Big Tens last year. I don't quite remember, but a beautiful Leo for Ohio State.
And of course,
she just warms up. I think that's going to be a full in.
And of course, for me personally, the floor is my favorite.
Oh, yes.
Event by far, as I was a former competitive dancer myself, so it's always fun.
So you can give us some insight on their choreography.
The inside, you know, pop and lock. I remember last week we were just stressing about that energy, and that's what I want. That's what I'm expecting from both of these sides from what we've seen so far.
Absolutely, and I think that energy is, I think they're bringing it today.
So after two, currently Ohio State leads the meet with 0.250 Michigan State at 97.5. They're 0.750 behind. And like you said, Roya, it's still recoverable for Michigan State.
Absolutely, it is anybody's game.
So you take another look at all the events that's happened thus far here at Jenison. It's the bars, it's the stick. Leah Smith a moment ago, and that's Leah Mitchell.
Really fights for that landing. Awesome job by her.
So currently after the first two rotations, Olivia Apley is leading both the events. She had a 9.875 on the vault and a 9.875 as well on the parallel bars.
And that is the buzzer. It's time for these two events to get it in gear.
So with that, we'll wait for a few moments for it to get going, but Olivia Apelli beats her bars routine from last weekend with a 9.875. She had a 9.85. She also beats her vault routine as well with a 9.875 compared to 9.85
so
last
another
weekend.
Career high from Apley. She's moving in the right direction to have herself a great senior season.
So here we go with Michigan State getting ready with their first bars. Alyssa Weidman will get things rolling. What's so special about Alyssa on the beam?
Alyssa is a confident gymnast. Her special dismount, she does a gainer full off of the end. Usually you see college gymnasts do a gainer pike. She adds a full twist, which is pretty difficult. I would say I haven't seen it from anyone else in the collegiate gymnastics world. So
Weidman will
see how she sets that dismount up. Does her back handspring layout step out. Great finish for her series.
A little slip by the left foot.
As her team cheers her on, she continues this routine with her full turn. Beautiful. Alyssa also moves very well on top of the beam. You can see that she has confidence in her numbers and in her training. Gets set for her single salto. Front toss.
Front toss that lands well and catches herself.
She's moving right out of these skills. She looks great on there. Jump combo, a flutter jump to a straddle 3/4, a little shy of that split. Sets up for that dismount I was talking about earlier, a gainer full off the end of the beam. Usually if you're gonna do a gainer full, you go off the side, but not Alyssa. Great dismount for her, and her team is very excited about it.
Leanne Well get things rolling for Michigan State. Now let's head over to the floor. Brooke Chesney will get things started. As there's Alyssa Weidman's unique dismount.
Love to see her excited about that. Interesting start to this floor routine.
It is. Brooke starting off on the
Very
floor.
dramatic music.
Yes. Ooh, I like this music.
Yeah, give us some of your insight on the dance here. I can give
first
you the
off,
gymnastics.
yeah, first off, the music. I love this music selection. Hit, hit, hit. I like that. Getting ready for her first pass through. And I know she's got to build this energy, and I think she's going to throughout this routine. Here's her first pass through.
Round off back handspring, double pike, great landing. Feet a little separated on that landing, but works well out of it. Gets right back into the corner for a second pass.
I feel like her dance is a little bit too elegant in my favor with the,
for the
song
music,
selection.
Really
yes.
Fit? Well, let's see. Let's see how she brings it back. Her chest came up a little early on that front layout out of that front full. That was her second and 2 salto pass.
Leap series was, I wanted more flavor on that.
Let's see how she does throughout the rest of the routine. If she gives us any flavor.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest thing too. Ooh, I like that.
I actually saw another Ohio State athlete do that same thing in their floor routine. I think it was Nevin Adamski.
Getting ready for her final pass is Chesney.
Round off 1.5 to a front layout. Doesn't quite get her feet underneath her where it needs to be to complete that pass, but manages to get it around to her feet.
I think her first 2 pass throughs were pretty, but I think the energy's missing. I was surprised with how much energy the Ohio State's been giving us today here at Jenison.
As we go back to the beam with Chloe Belmar,
yes.
freshman from DeWitt, Michigan.
You know, I really like her routine on the beam, Chloe's routine.
Yeah, she moves very well on top of the beam. A very powerful gymnast, Chloe Belmar is. However, with that fall from Ohio State, Michigan State can gain a little bit of wiggle room here to take the lead. Belmar setting up for a beam routine.
And here goes Chloe.
Cat leap to a side aerial. Great for Miss
Oh, that
Belmar.
was elegant. That was wonderful.
Front toss to a back tuck. That is her series. Has a little balance check. Recovers well. I will say these Leos look great with Michigan State.
They do. It really does match to add to their routines. And
Absolutely.
their lines, the performance.
Chloe Belmar here sets up for her jump series, a split jump to a split quarter. Great 180 split on both of those as she leads up to her dismount. This is a great routine from the freshman. Almost got that stick.
Yeah, she
very
did.
Close.
Feet was wide, but that was very close of a stick. But that was a very strong performance by Chloe Belmar.
As we head over to the floor for Ohio State.
Ella Hodges standing by us. We take a quick look back at Belmar's
Here's
routine.
her series and that dismount. So close to
That
that
was.
stick.
So over to the floor we go. Ella Hodges. I'm already liking this better.
Yeah, I think she's giving you a little more flavor.
I think she's giving me that sass, you know? It's just a choice of the music.
Round on backhand
And the
double
stick.
pike. As her team does the routine right along with her on the sideline.
Back she goes for second pass through.
Very unique pass, front 1.5 to a back layout step out.
I love it, the step out, the 1-2.
Yeah, that was awesome. She gets this Ariana Grande floor music. I love it. Very dramatic, goes right along with the music. What do you think?
Very strong routine, very strong. I like it. I can feel the energy from up here.
Absolutely, very entertaining, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. Floor is a show.
And I think half of it has to do with your facial expressions, you know?
Absolutely.
Do you see yourself getting into the routine, buying it and selling it? You can see it right here. That's a great shot.
And then she's got to get right back and focus in for this last pass.
Oh, that is a wonderful shot by Brendan Shabath right there. Final pass through.
Front, back 1.5 to a front layout. Great routine for Ohio State.
An all-national gymnast, Ella Hodges, no wonder why she was brilliant.
Great routine for Ohio State. We head back over to the balance beam with Elena Raybon.
I just love that. I just love that so much. So unique.
Her dance was exquisite during this routine. Really showed off every motion that she did.
So now we're heading over to a live look here.
Salto, back layout, step out to a great landing.
Elena Raybon, this is, you're currently watching.
Flutter jump to a straddle 3/4. This is a great routine confidence-wise for Elena. I'm seeing a lot of confidence during this set.
Raybon had a 9.85 on the beam last weekend, so.
Aerial to a round off.
A beautiful routine.
I don't want to jinx it and say it's flawless, but it's looking pretty well.
Oh, you're going to do the broadcaster's jinx? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Let's see. I don't know. Did I jinx her? I don't think I did.
No, you did not.
Stick.
No, you did not. Elena Raybon, everybody.
Great routine for Elena Raybon. Big moment for her and her team. Means a lot. You can definitely tell from their reactions. Awesome routine for her.
Raybon was
They're
just
throwing
killing
up.
it.
One coach threw up 10s. Very close. I saw little deduction.
Danica Abanto on the floor as there's just, look at that brilliant smile. Smile your heart out there, Raybon. I like this music choice. And I genuinely believe this. I think half of floor has to do with your music choice. Does it fit your routine?
Absolutely. Floor definitely is an event you can show a little bit more of your personality. She comes out a little early on that double pike, has a short landing.
Hitting all the beats here. Maybe a little bit sharper. Personally, that's just my opinion there.
As she gets ready for her second pass, round off 1.5 to a front layout. Almost out of bounds.
Just stays in.
Stays in with a slight, like a sliver of her toe, literally.
Oh goodness, that was close to that pink tape.
Cool dance move there. Sets up for her leap pass. Dances right back into the corner. Her team
Ooh,
is
I like
loving
that.
it.
Little moonwalk.
Here's that leap pass, a switch ring to a strug, a tourjete half.
Setting up for the final pass by Abanto.
There's that Ohio State call
The
during
coach.
that routine. Round off back handspring, double tuck. Chest is a little bit down.
Ooh, I like
Shoots the basket.
Shoots the basket, Abanto. All right. We'll see if she made a two-pointer or a three-pointer, but you know what I liked about the entire thing is how Paula Civic was joining her team and doing the routine with the team as well.
Absolutely. That energy has to come from everyone on the team for them to be successful.
Her pass-throughs was a little bit weaker on the weaker end, but I think her dance routine definitely made up for it.
Here's Nia Smith, freshman on balance beam.
So Nia Smith is, of course, one of those that Michigan State's keeping an eye on for the long term as they have a big tool under their belts and they're continuing to grow all their gymnasts.
Absolutely. Nia is following that fall on bars and she has to recover very well with this beam routine because she's in the lineup for this set.
By the way, at Michigan State, as a team, their average right now is a 49.1. That is second in the Big Ten and 8th in the nation. Very strong on the beam.
Which is a great, great statement for Michigan State, seeing as though in the past, beam has been their weakest event, and now it is one of their strongest. Says a lot for Michigan State. As Nia finishes up this beam set. Gets ready for this dismount. Nia is one of the gymnasts on Michigan State's team that does a round-off double back dismount. Very, very difficult, as you can see now.
And she's getting encouragement from her teammates and her coach. Mike Rowe likes it.
That was a beautiful dismount from Nia. Her team is very excited about that as they carry that energy from each event.
I think that was a very strong performance by Smith. Just the landing was just a little bit off, but I mean, when you do that difficult of a landing, you gotta be happy.
Chest was a little bit down, but I mean,
heading over.
What a difficult dismount.
Now, Alexis Hankins. I love her song choice. I love this song.
She's getting a lot of the facial expressions that you were talking about
She
as well.
is. This is a very easy song to do, though. I've seen a lot of dance routines and
She starts off with a full in her first pass. A little bit
oh,
off
the bow?
side.
The bow? You know, I love that she lands and there's purposely a bow in that routine. Oh.
Because she knows that was a huge pass. A full in is something that you don't really see too often in college gymnastics.
Second pass through.
Front layout to a front half. Not sure if that meets the requirements. I don't know if that was supposed to be something more or less. However, she's really working this routine.
She really is. She's making this floor routine hers and helping her team out every point she can.
Absolutely, and every point definitely counts when you are looking for that in score. Could be just a .25, and that could be a toe point. And those are the details that you really want to focus on during practice leading up to these big events.
Final pass through for Hankins. Lands it
Double tuck
perfectly.
to a stick. You can see her coach on the side is very excited about that, standing right along with her girls.
A very strong performance by Alexis Hankins for the Buckeyes. And now we head over to the beam. Leah Mitchell, the all-rounder, getting ready for her beam routine today.
Like I said before, Leah is a consistent gymnast, so error, I don't know if we'll see it during this routine.
So Mitchell actually had her career best in the last tri-meet last weekend. A 9.875 is her career best.
She gets ready for her triple series. Leah does a back handspring, layout step out. One skill added on to the normal series that you'll see from an NCAA gymnast. Here she goes, gets set for that triple series. So she adds in one back handspring more, and it doesn't give her any issues. Lands it great.
She made it look like she does it every day.
She does.
Eyes closed, be sleeping. You know, she'll flip out of bed like that.
Gymnastics practices are about 4 hours, so she does that pretty often, I'd say.
Aerial.
And it shows. Front aerial was her single salto. Lands that great. Flows right out of it, too. Her dance is great on top of the beam. As she gets set for her dismount, this is another flawless routine from Michigan State. They are looking very confident tonight.
It feels like a very different team from what we saw a week ago.
Definitely, but she delivers with a round off 1.5, almost a stick.
That was a very strong performance by Leah Mitchell and company. We'll wait for the results.
Leah Mitchell and company, I like that.
Leah Mitchell and company. I mean, I guess technically it's Leah Mitchell and Ella Douglas's company, as there's very highlights, and there's her dismount once again.
As we head over
Here's
to the
Olivia
floor.
Apley. Both Roy and I have been anticipating this routine all night long.
Yes, the Billie Eilish bad guy. I'm loving it. With that open double tuck.
Little too much
pass.
momentum there in the first pass.
Controls it well on the landing, though, as she sets for her second pass. Front handspring, front full, front layout.
She does it well. She does it elegantly.
She really shows off this floor routine, and I think this is the part that she loves the most. You can tell.
Oh, this burlesque style. Show it. You got to show it, and she does. Every movement, every arm, every hit has a purpose. And that little grooveness that you have.
She's definitely working this routine, feeding into the crowd and her teammates' energy. Ohio State's got a couple fans in the house tonight.
She is selling this routine, and she is loving it.
Absolutely. Every moment counts here for Olivia. She's fighting for that all-around spot between her and Leah Mitchell. She comes a little short on that last pass.
Her foot got wide. It was about shoulder lengths apart when she landed it. We'll see in the replay in a moment. But that was a very, very strong performance by Olivia Apley.
As we head over to the beam for Michigan State, Ella Douglas, and here is where I was stressing that you can see right there.
Yeah,
that
it's right
short,
there.
Short landing, just a little bit. But this is the Canadian gymnastics that we were looking forward to.
The senior, once again, the lone senior of Michigan State squad this year.
Here's one of the Canadian moves. Double turn on top of the beam. You do not see that every day.
Ella Douglas set her career best 9.950 in the last try. The first Spartan to do so. Since 2009, Kelsey Morley was the last one to do it. She did it twice that year.
Sets up for that series aerial layout step out, another Canadian gymnastics move. Although I'm starting to see more aerial entries throughout the NCAA.
Is it modernization, or I should say maybe like the blend of cultures?
Yeah, I would say so. You're seeing more of her dismount right here, an aerial layout full. See if she can get the stick. And she does.
She does. I think there will be a couple points deducted off her feet not staying wide, but regardless, that was a very fine performance by.
So she's looking to beat a 9.95.
So moving on over, Claire Gagadali for performance as once again the dismount from Ella Douglas.
As we head over to floor for Ohio State.
The anchor for the Buckeyes here.
Opens with a round-up back handspring double pike to a great landing. Sets up for her second pass. Front layout, front 1.5. Another great landing for Ohio State.
Our line was just a little off there, but regardless, she recovers well. Claire Gagadali once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Switch half,
Beautiful.
switch side to a straddle popa.
Beautiful leap series by her.
Loving the dance here for Ohio State. This is great. Very entertaining.
Their floor is very solid, folks.
Ooh.
What a, woo!
Loving it. Hypes up the crowd even.
I just love how they built that into the routine.
Absolutely. She's definitely working this. You can see why she's in that anchor spot. It actually takes more energy for the athletes to compete a routine full out with great dance and tumbling. You'd be surprised at how tiring it actually is.
So Claire's trying to beat a score of a 9.875 she set against NC State last weekend, and I think that's going to be close.
Absolutely.
To do so.
That was a great set for Ohio State as she ends that floor routine.
So that'll be it. We're going to head to the two exhibitions now. Start off with Michigan State with Maddie McHale on the beam. So once again, take a look at Gagadali's routine on the floor.
Her team is very excited about that. As Maddie sets up here for her leap series. A switch to a split half, very difficult.
I think the first switch, she just didn't get that second foot high enough, but
a little short on that front leg. As she sets up for a dismount, gainer full off the side, fights for that stick, but can't quite get it.
But I like that fighting. I like that she
Absolutely.
knows she's trying to hold that. And that means she knows exactly. She's just her center moment gravity is just a little forward, and she knows
Just
that.
a little bit, but the coaches also love to see that an athlete's fighting for that landing as well.
There's Mike Rowe just gathering his team up, and we'll take another look. Once again, exhibition Maddie McHale's
That was
dismount.
a great rotation for Michigan State. I don't think that they had one fall.
No, they didn't. It was a very strong rotation by Michigan State.
They are moving in the right direction, going forward into the season.
So a couple tapings that we have to do in the corner of the mat as we get ready.
Those tape marks are to keep the judges aware of the out-of-bound line. So you can see it kind of matches in with the flow of the floor, comes to that diagonal. That's where you're going to see if she steps over that line, it will be a deduction.
Exhibition Sarah Rowland. Very unique song choice.
Absolutely. I saw this routine in warm-up. She really delivers this routine. Really shows it off as she goes into her first pass. Front layout, front 1.5. Excellent landing.
Wonderful air time, wonderful landing there.
You can see she is really going through these motions in her floor routine, really delivering that dance.
Second pass through.
Round off, backhand spring, double pike.
This is definitely a confidence builder for Sarah.
Absolutely, and you can tell this dance, she has to have a storyline. I'm loving it. Switch
that was
side to a
beautiful.
popa. Legs are over the 180 line.
That was phenomenal.
Very flexible, showing that off. Still working this dance from start to finish. I love to see it. Her team feeds along into her energy as she sets up for her last pass. Front layout, front full, slips a little bit in that landing.
But she recovered it well, though.
Absolutely, that was a great set for her. Even in the exhibition spot, you can tell that that routine meant a lot for her.
It was a fine performance by Sarah Rowland, and that'll conclude the third rotation. As we look through our pass-throughs once again. There's her final pass-through, yeah.
Foot slips a little bit right there, but definitely brings it back, tries to hide it very well.
I just think her feet was a little too close.
A little bit.
Landing. Here's Michigan State's final balance beam scores 48.725. Gabriella Douglas for 9.825 in her performance today. Elena Raybound for 9.8, very strong outing. And Leah Mitchell for 9.75. All very strong outings here.
Absolutely. Raybound definitely comes and delivers with that 9.8. That was a great routine for her and for Michigan State.
Ohio State for 49.025. Claire Gagliardi for 9.9.
That is a beautiful score and very well deserved. That was a great routine for Miss Claire.
And that was, I just want to talk about Claire real quick. That was something. And there's a reason why she's in the anchor spot. She has so much energy out there. She's elegant when she is. She hits every beat when she has to.
Absolutely. You can definitely tell that she has confidence in her training to deliver that routine for her team.
So after 3 rotations, the current score of the meets is 147.275. Ohio State, Michigan State 146.225. Lexi Ayala is standing by with Mike Rowe of Michigan State. Lexi.
Hi, guys. Coach Mike Rowe. You're looking pretty in pink tonight, Coach. But what I want to talk to you about is what you said after the last meet. You said you guys have just got to keep raising the bar, being consistent, learning what you're already producing out here. But after 4 individuals earned career highs recently, how do you continue to raise that bar?
Well, it's all about details, and they've been doing that in the gym consistently, more consistently now. We had more stuck landings on bars today. Vault started off not quite what we expected, but they raised the bar themselves when they came to bars and had our career high today, or our season high today. So that was really nice. They took it to beam, they kept momentum going, and we're gonna do the same thing on floor.
Absolutely. So what is it that you guys need to do to finish out strong on the floor tonight?
They feel really comfortable on floor. It's their favorite event. It's like putting a tag on the whole meet. So with the choreography, with the presentation and everything, they have a lot of fun with it, and you can see it. We have a couple new people in the floor lineup today because we're resting a couple people, so it's nice to be able to get them the opportunity to show what they can do too. So give the fans kind of a treat.
Right, your Spartan Dogs absolutely have some swag out there on the floor, but thanks so much, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lexi. That's Coach Mike Rowe there. Mike, appreciate your time here and a busy rotation, but Mike Rowe was talking about a new rotation, and that's Sydney Ewing that's being added to the lineup here today. What does Sydney bring for Michigan State to try to help Michigan State end tonight's meet strong?
So Sydney, last week she competed the exhibition spot, so she's worked her way right back into the lineup. She brings a new second pass, a front 1.5 to a front full, so I'm excited to see that. Her dance is also very elegant on floor, so she adds quite a lot of qualities for this floor lineup.
Michigan State, or excuse me, Ohio State's up by 1.05. Oh, as we head to the final rotation, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here on BTN Plus. Find 0 points. And well, you're telling me this is a doable score. It could still go either way because of what can happen on the beam for Ohio State, correct?
Beam is one of those events that will make or break the team score. So let's see how Ohio State sets up their team tonight. As we have Michigan State on the floor, their favorite event, Ohio State finishes off on the beam.
As Mike Rose said, Michigan State is just the floor, they enjoy floor. As we take a look at Elena Rayvon, who's once again routine went viral from last week, 3.9 billion views on Twitter.
Even in the exhibition spot, she still captures everybody on Twitter with that great routine.
There were so many comments flooded on Twitter with it. And here we go, final rotation. So, Schwartzweiser will get things off.
Ohio State starts off on the beam.
So very important for the Buckeyes to finish strong.
Absolutely, as she adds some creativity in that beam mount. Front aerial to a split jump, beautiful. She moves very well on top of the beam. She gets ready for her series. Back handspring layout step out to a great finish and moves right out of it. That's exactly what you want to see. Front leg was a little low on that switch leap.
I feel like that's been a common theme for both of these teams today on the beam.
Absolutely, and these are tenths that all add up, so I'm sure they'll be right back in the gym working on that flexibility. As she sets up for her dismount here. One of those aerial back handspring, aerial layout full. One I was mentioning earlier when we were looking at Gabrielle Douglas, dismount that's becoming a little bit more common.
Schweitweiser was setting that up once again. The leap series and then the dismount. And on the floor now is Tristan Brown, and this girl can bring it on the floor.
She definitely brings that sass to her floor routine. You'll see it throughout here. She gets her first pass, round up back handspring, double pike.
And lands it. Oh, she stuck that.
She works the dance here into her second pass. Gets this leap series. Switch side to a Popa, straddle full. She gets ready for her second pass. It's a 1.5 punch layout. What you're looking for on this pass is that she gets a good height on both saltos. And her chest is up at the landing, and a great landing it was.
Her feet moved just a little bit. She did a little, almost like a twinkle dance in a way, just adjusting, but great pass over still.
Absolutely. She gets this routine all through the dance, sets up for her last pass, a round up back handspring, double tug. Keep in mind the things that you're looking for here, or should I say the judges are looking for, are great landings, chest up, and really showing off the dance.
And I think that's the last one, the showing off the dance is what really can sell some of these routines.
As she lands it with a great landing. You can tell through her dance she's excited about that routine, as is her team.
Very strong performance by Tristan Brown to get things rolling for Michigan State in this pink meets.
As we head over to the beam for Ohio State.
Jenna Schwarzentrauber. Also Olivia Pelly, the all-rounder, is up next after her, followed by Alexis Hankins, Ella Hodges, and Morgan Lowe.
Ohio State sets up for their second competitor on the balance beam. There's head coach Meredith Polisivic.
And I wonder what's going through her head right now.
My thoughts as a head coach right now would be, how can I best prepare my athlete to deliver her best routine? And I think she does that with the slight commentary at the beginning before she starts her routine and really get her mental state where it needs to be for this routine.
And off of that, Paul Civic said earlier this week, quote, "I think this will be a good learning experience for a young team." It looks like there's some sort of clarification going on with the judges.
So usually if there's some type of hesitation, they're questioning a start value, a skill that may not have been given. Either way, they are set and ready for the second competitor.
So once again, Jenna Schwarzentrober.
She gets set for a wolf turn here. Very difficult. Does it well. And great choreography down to the beam.
And it's just been a very strong performance by both of these teams today, and I want to say all these events.
Absolutely. It has been quite the competition, but we expected this. These are both great teams fighting for everything that they have.
And what a beautiful series that was.
Back handspring layout, step out to a great landing. Front toss to a flutter jump, has a little hesitation in between the skill and the jump. I don't think they'll count that as a deduction though. I think she covered it well.
Little off, almost slipped off, just had to catch herself. That was close, and I think that set off because of the low leap. The first leap, dismount, lands it both her feet wide, just a little off. We'll see how many points she gets deducted from that routine.
Since her hand hit the beam, unfortunately, that will count as a fall.
And that'll be tough as we look once again at Schwarzenberger's dismount. Now Sydney Ewing, the new addition to this floor routine for Michigan State. Following Ewing will be Nia Smith, the freshman, and it's Chloe Belmore, the freshman as well.
So
Ashley Hofalik, the sophomore, and Leah Mitchell, the junior.
So Ewing was one of the newcomers that Mike Rowe was talking about in this floor lineup. She enters with a front double full, something you don't see too often. That is an E-pass.
Cross-stepped a little bit, but I think the skill is going to give her some points there.
Absolutely. Her feet kind of intertwined there at the end.
Yeah, she did a little like a 1-2 step type of thing.
She goes into her leap series.
Beautiful lines by Ewing.
Her toe point is one thing that really stands out with her gymnastics. She really works the dance into this corner, setting up for this next pass.
Second pass by Sydney Ewing.
Round off 1.5.
Slips
Front full.
and falls.
Can't quite get it around. That is a new pass for her.
And I think the second step or hop or however you want to say that was just shy of it. We should be able to see in the replay and then why she couldn't get that momentum.
So in the
finish it
replay,
off.
we should see that the 1.5 was a little bit high. So she has a little trouble getting back down to her feet for the second salto of that, floor pass.
And here,
There's her front double, and here's the 1.5, a little, I think her knee buckled a little bit.
It might have been, yes, now that we take another look at that.
Here's Olivia Apley for Ohio State.
So Olivia Apley needs to finish this off strong, not just to help her team out, but also try to win the all-around against Leah Mitchell, of course, tonight at Michigan State.
And you can see the judges there, they're debating about something else.
They're still having a conversation, so.
Possibly a start value inquiry from the coach.
Maybe. Looks like.
I tell you what, those blue blazers, they don't get old. I wonder if they'll switch up the color. Probably not.
I don't know. You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it blue and
Yeah,
nice
keep
and
it classy.
classy, right?
Yeah.
Olivia Apley still waiting for it.
And there's the hand.
So here's Olivia Apley, the all-rounder for final event of the day.
She sets up for her beam set, a full turn there. Works well out of it. Gets her series here. Back handspring layout, step out. Beautiful execution. cat leap, has
And it falls off.
a little balance check out of that cat leap, causing her to be unbalanced on that front toss.
The all-rounder slips off, which means for Ohio State, unfortunately, one of those scores will stand.
Absolutely.
So it's very important for Olivia Apley to finish this performance off strong, to give her team as many points as possible.
As an athlete, after a mess up, you definitely want to think, how can I make the rest of this routine as flawless as possible?
Landing was just a little wide there, a little hop. That's Olivia Apley with her beam performance.
Unfortunately, Olivia did fall on that beam routine, opening the door a little bit for Michigan State here. Let's see how Nia Smith responds.
So it's true freshman's Nia Smith to make a statement here.
Freshman here enters with a front through, round off, back handspring, double tuck.
And that
Excellent landing.
beautiful pass through by Nia Smith to get her routine started. Love the song choice too.
Love the dance also, goes right along with the music. She's a freshman, however, she competes with a little bit of confidence. You can tell that her confidence is growing each week that she competes.
Nia Smith had a 9.85 on her floor routine last weekend, trying to improve that score.
Has a switch ring to a switch side. Gets ready for that second pass.
Love it. And her face is so fierce.
1.5 punch layout step out.
And had to recover from it a little bit, but made it look pretty doing it. Always love that move right there.
This is a great routine so far for Nia Smith.
Smith will work her way for the final pass.
Usually you'll see gymnasts in with a double tuck, but she ends her routine with a double pike and really fights for that landing.
Oh, she fought for it hard and allowed her to stay on her feet. A very nice performance by Nia Smith indeed. Should help her team out a little bit.
As we head over to the beam,
Alexis Hankins.
has a little bit of pressure on her shoulders following 2 falls from her teammates.
But before that, let's just take a look at one more time Nia Smith's routine here. And she just keeps sticking these landings.
Such powerful gymnastics from the freshman.
So once again, folks, this is Alexis Hankins.
Wolf turn there, does that well. Like I said, she does have a little bit of pressure on her shoulders following 2 falls from her teammates. So let's see how she recovers. Leading into this series. Back handspring, layout, flawless triple series.
Was
So,
wonderful.
Similar to Leah Mitchell, she also does a triple series. Instead of adding another back handspring, she added another layout step out at the end.
The leaps series here.
Great routine so far from Ohio State as she sets up for her dismount.
Round off.
Double full, slight hop, but a great routine. Following 2 falls, she did a great job.
Alexis Hankins, ladies and gentlemen, that was a beautiful
Absolutely.
routine. As Michigan State, Chloe Belmore.
Chloe is one of the gymnasts, freshmen, that has dynamic gymnastics. You can see throughout her floor routine, she is very powerful.
Her personal best is a 9.75 she set a week ago. Once again, setting the tape on the mats to help the judges out. Chloe Belmore, 9.8 or above, could really help her team out right now.
Absolutely. As we said before, 9.6 is a little bit below average, 9.7, 9.8 average, or sorry, 9.7 average, 9.8 and above average. So we're looking for those above average scores right now.
Chloe Belmore, ladies and gentlemen, look at her power, the energy she's already showing.
Absolutely. You can tell through every aspect of this routine, she is a powerful gymnast, as she shows it here with this opening pass. Round up back handspring, double pike, great landing from the freshman from Do It.
I just love the energy that Chloe has. Every
Absolutely.
time she's on the floor.
You can tell she's competing with a purpose, and that purpose tonight is to beat Ohio State.
Great addition for Mike Rowe and his squad for years to come.
Awesome, a leap series. She is really showing off every landing, really feeding into the energy for this routine.
Chloe's going to work her way to the near side corner for the final pass. Here goes Belmore.
Front layout, front 1.5, great landing, and really shows it off.
Feet was a little wide there. We'll see how much she gets deducted, but Chloe Belmore for very strong performance to help Michigan State out.
Absolutely, that was great. Her team's excited about it as we head right back over to the beam for Ohio State.
Let's just talk about Chloe real quickly. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that she's a freshman.
It is. She competes with such confidence and such comfortability in the moment. You can tell that she is just dominating out there.
Ella Hodges up next for the Buckeyes. Morgan Lowe is due up after her, and that'll conclude the Ohio State series with just an exhibition remaining.
Back handspring layout, step out for her series. Great finish, has a little balance check.
She does. She hits a little. Another balance check, if I say so myself.
A little bit, and all of these tenths add up. Although this is a great routine, she's really moving well throughout this beam routine.
She's keeping
Gainer,
her composure.
layout, step out, that is a unique skill. Don't really see that too often. We saw Raybon earlier compete a standing layout step out. That one was a little different because she swings her leg on the side before completing the skill. As she gets set for her dismount, it's a great routine so far for Ohio State. And she gets the stick. I don't know if they're going to count that.
I don't know either.
I don't know either.
She did try. She tried to sell it well. Credit to Hodges. A little bit of distance on that as well. I think that threw her off a little bit.
A little bit, a little far.
So as we look at Ella Hodges again, that's her dismount. She tried selling that well. We'll see if that counts as a stick. That was close.
She showed a little control, so they should.
Here's the Novi native, Ashley Hofelik. Hofelik's been having a pretty solid floor season so
Absolutely,
far.
she comes with such energy on this event. You can tell here, she drops out of the sky with a round off back handspring double pike.
Ashley Hofelik had a 9.875 in the tri-meets. I think her leap series can still have a little bit of improvement.
You can tell she's having a good time. This floor routine is showing a lot of energy.
Floor is definitely Hofelik's strong suit. Second pass. And makes it look like it's so easy to her.
Back 1.5 to a front layout. She lands it well and works right out of it. Continues this floor routine with as much energy as she started with, and her team is backing her up.
Yeah, she's enjoying herself on the floor right now, and that's really what you
Absolutely.
want. You're going to perform best as an athlete when you enjoy yourself.
Absolutely, and you're having fun because aside from all the hard work, you really just want to keep that fun mentality so that you're enjoying everything that you're doing.
Sticks
Another
it!
great pass from Ashley Hofelik. She is really in her prime.
Ashley Hofelik, a sophomore, excuse me. Look at that. Her team loves it. They know that was a very strong performance.
Absolutely. Michigan State loves the energy from that routine as we head back over to the beam with Ohio State.
Hofelik with these landings and sticks. Here's her final pass here once again.
These landings are great. You can tell that she really keys in on those during the week leading up to this competition.
Countless
Great
hours on her
routine.
side. There's Morgan Lowe getting some instruction for Coach Pollock. Morgan knows how important this beam routine is right now. A 9.90.
And I think that is a career high.
That is a
for
career
Hofelik.
high for Ashley Hofelik. So she beats last week's 9.875 score on the floor.
And tying for first with Ohio State's other 9-9.
Yes, Claire Gagliardi, which was, by the way, the anchor for Ohio State. Once again, here's a live look at Morgan Lowe.
As she gets a beautiful back handspring layout step out. Showing off each landing of this routine, her team is very excited with her, giving her energy and confidence to finish this routine.
Had to catch herself a little bit there, but recovers well.
Really showing off this dance. You can tell that Ohio State is now fighting for everything that they have right now.
And Morgan Lowe, she was close. She was close from falling off there.
I think they're starting to feel the pressure of the competition a little bit. The score is getting a little close. See how she gets this dismount. With the stick, the pressure does not affect her.
Sticks it feet wide. We'll see how much of a point deduction that is. But Morgan Lowe finishing off strong for Ohio State. Michigan State, one more routine.
This is a great competition.
It has been a great competition between these two sides.
Both teams are giving me great energy, and I'm loving it.
Once again, that stick was a little wide there, but regardless, Morgan Lowe makes a stick. There's Leah Mitchell, the anchor. How will she follow up Hofelik's 9.9 performance?
Let's see. The Spartans still have two routines, and fortunately for them, those two routines are Leah Mitchell and Ella Douglas. Sorry, I stand corrected. Ella Douglas will not be doing floor tonight. However,
Ewing did come in for her, but Leah Mitchell for first pass through.
Beautiful round off back handspring double tug. She's really working this dance as well.
Here's Leah Mitchell, the all-rounder second pass.
1.5 punch layout really works the finish too, right into that dance. This is an explosive routine from Mitchell.
Oh, big smiles on Leah Mitchell's face today.
As she gets her leap, switch half popa to a stag jump.
I love that stag jump by Leah.
Definitely very unique. Kind of puts the exclamation part on her gymnastics.
It's like a whoop. But I don't know how to explain that, folks.
I mean, those words, those can explain a lot, you know? Whoop.
Final pass through from Leah Mitchell with the hit. And I always like that about Leah's routines. There's always that one beat hit that she makes it count, set herself up.
Would you say it's the whoop?
No, I'll say that's a hit. And Leah Mitchell just makes that stick. Leah is so elegant, so comfortable on the floor.
Great routine for Michigan State, and the crowd is really feeding into that energy.
Crowd's liking that one. So, Leah Mitchell follows up well from Hofelik's routine. So you look at Leah's 3 pass-throughs. And all of these just sticks them, just lands them.
As we head to Ohio State on the beam.
So folks, that will conclude the point scoring section of tonight's competition. We are headed into final 2 exhibitions, starting with Colby Miller of Ohio State. Or excuse me, this should be the final exhibition, my apologies. The crowd's liking it. It's a 9.9 for Leah Mitchell, back-to-back.
Still focusing on the beam, Ohio State does take a fall on their exhibition. However, that was a beautiful routine leading up to that moment. Finishes strong here. She's moving very well despite all of the noise going on around her.
She's staying in that zone. Ariel had to catch herself and holds herself on the beam.
Fights for that landing. That is something that you really want to see as a coach from your athlete.
To the leap series.
Flutter jump to a tuck full as she gets ready to go for her dismount. Gainer pike off of the end of the beam. Recovered well from that fall. She should be pretty excited about that routine to know that she can get up and hit right after a fall.
And that, folks, is the final exhibition here today. There's a look at Leah Mitchell once again.
There's tri-captain Hadley.
Tell me a little bit about Hadley and what she means to this program.
Hadley is probably one of the most unique children that I've ever met. Her energy, her smile, her demeanor about everything that's going on in her life is just so perfect. She's battling cancer. She's gone through so many chemo sessions and everything, and she still manages to have a smile on her face every weekend with this team. She means a lot to this team.
You saw a moment ago Michigan State for 49.175. Once again, there's a look at Hadley joining that circle, and they're celebrating.
Absolutely. This means a lot for Michigan State, seeing as though they've struggled in the past. And to pull this out, this means a lot. You can see they're getting very excited about this.
So, folks, our final score is in here. Michigan State wins tonight's meet from 195.450, Ohio State 195.275.
I will say this was a great showing from both teams.
And
very exciting.
I want to mention, I think, big ones were Hopeflick's 9.9 and Mitchell's 9.925. But if you now take a look at Ohio State's beam scores.
Unfortunately, they did have to count a fall. They counted an
Jenna
8.85.
Schwartzberger's 8.85. That's the one that hurt Ohio State. Because you look at the other ones, they're all 9.7 or above. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Great showing from both teams. The competition was fierce. You can see from moment in to the time the last floor routine was made, they had a great meet, both teams, and today Michigan State ended up on top. Michigan State takes their first Big Ten victory of the season, first victory of the year for 195.450. As you can see how excited Mike Rowe and his team is. Absolutely.
To the Buckeyes.
A win is a win, and they've worked so hard. They've made so many changes in the program to see what fits and what doesn't, and I think they're starting to figure it out. Look at that, Haley getting a high five from Mike Rowe and company. They are loving it, enjoying it here. Ohio State, they've had a great meet, only a couple uncharacteristic mistakes from them. I'm sure they'll get back into the gym. It was a strong performance by both of these sides. Olivia Appel will take the win on vault and uneven parallel bars with 9.875 each. Douglas will take the win on beam for MSU, 9.825. Leah Mitchell will take the floor with a 9.925. There's Chloe Belmore of the excellent performance earlier today. Michigan State wins tonight's meet in 195.450 to 195.275 for Roya Shirley, Alexis Ayala, and everyone here at BTN Plus. I'm Hikaru Kudo. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope you have a great rest of your evening. Michigan State with the victory. Good night, folks.